Let's take a deeper dive into each story. U.S. domestic politics and policy. The facts. In Washington, President Donald Trump's second term is in full swing with a flurry of executive actions and policy shifts. In just his first days back in office, Trump signed more than 200 executive orders and memoranda aiming to fulfill campaign promises at record pace. His administration imposed new tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China, and moved to shut down federal diversity, equity, and inclusion DEI programs, reflecting a hard pivot in policy from the previous administration. On immigration, the White House touted early victories, with reports that illegal border crossings have plummeted after reinstituted strict enforcement measures. Trump also ordered federal employees back to the office, ending remote work for many, and directed a controversial plan to detain certain undocumented immigrants at Guantanamo Bay, calling them the worst of the worst criminals. These rapid changes have set off a scramble in Washington as agencies, courts, and Congress react. Conservative perspective. Many on the right are applauding Trump's swift action and seeing it as a decisive course correction for the country. Supporters argue that the president is restoring law and order and putting American interests first, just as he promised. Fox News, for example, has highlighted the immediate impact of Trump's policies, noting that tougher border measures are already reducing illegal crossings and that taking a hard line on immigration is enhancing public safety. Conservative commentators praise the tariff strategy too, framing it as standing up to trading partners and protecting U.S. industries. There's a sense among Trump's base that the government is finally getting back to work, requiring federal employees to end telework, cutting what they view as bureaucratic fat, like DEI programs, and aggressively enforcing immigration law. Republican voters overwhelmingly backed Trump's agenda. According to a recent Pew Research survey, 76% of Republicans believe Trump's new administration will improve how government operates, while nearly the same share of Democrats expect the opposite. In short, the right-leaning narrative is that Trump is delivering, making America safer and stronger by being tough, fast, and unapologetic. Liberal perspective. On the other side of the aisle, Democrats and liberal critics are sounding alarms about the manner and substance of Trump's moves. They characterize this blitz of executive orders not as efficient governance, but as executive overreach. Progressive leaders warn that many of these actions target vulnerable communities and even threaten core democratic norms. For instance, Trump's order to suspend federal funding met immediate pushback. Critics noted that only Congress controls the purse, and indeed a federal judge swiftly blocked this funding freeze, calling into question its legality. Immigration advocates and Democratic lawmakers are outraged over the plan to send migrants to Guantanamo Bay, calling it unprecedented and illegal. A group of Senate Democrats led by Senator Dick Durbin wrote a public letter denouncing the Guantanamo transfers as unlawful and harmful to American values and interests, noting that U.S. soil has never been used to send people to Guantanamo for immigration detention. Across many policy areas, from revoking birthright citizenship to banning diversity training, Liberal voices argue Trump is governing by fiat in ways that undermine civil rights. They point to the chaos and lawsuits already underway as a sign that this agenda is deeply divisive. In summary, the left-leaning view portrays Trump's early weeks as chaotic and extreme, with officials and activists rushing to the courts and Congress to put a check on what they see as dangerous power grabs.